Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And we're going to go a little bit outside of paper today when we're talking. We're going to kind of go into an area that Mr. Magazine deals in some. And basically, we're talking media.
Okay.
I want to talk about movies, and I want to talk about music. And I want to talk about formats.
Okay.
And I guess my question to you is, you've been around the movies for a long, long time. And, you know, some of them came out on the 16 millimeters, and then they had the 8 millimeters, and
Beta, the little cassettes. They had the reels, VHS, and DVD, Blu-ray. What was the other version of Blu-ray that didn't last long? It was in the red boxes. It was another company.
Red box.
No, it wasn't. Blu-rays were in blue boxes. This other competitor of Blu-ray, I forgot what it was. But.
All right, take a movie, I don't know, Some Like It Hot. I don't know if that was a popular enough movie or not. But that would be on all of those different varieties, right?
Oh,
or certainly Maltese Falcon or one of those would be on all those different.
Yep.
Why do people buy them?
People like to collect. It could be the art on the box. It could be a series of, I want every Marilyn Monroe movie or every
version of every Marilyn Monroe movie.
Every book, every magazine. So it all depends on what they like to collect of actress, a series, or whatever.
Now, how many people out there? We'll just use Some Like It Hot as an example. How many people out there are buying that on CED, but they just buy CEDs? I guess my question is, are there people out there that are still buying CDs and watching CEDs?
I'm sure there's a very, very tiny amount, but yeah, and I'm sure it's hard to restore these machines too at this day and age. I'm sure people can do it, but it might not be worth the cost at some point. So
I mean, I guess my what I'm trying to get down to is there a reason, like, we're going to the records, people claim that the sound that the records make is superior.
Right.
Is there a reason why you would watch a beta version of a movie that's available in every format?
Only if it's a version that has like footage. Footage that isn't in the other formats, or the original footage, like the original Star Wars before the trilogy and before they started adding scenes and cleaning it up. They want to see the original, what it looked like in a movie theater would be the first versions of beta and VHS.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or they would want, or the laser disc would be the best quality in that era when the movies were coming out. So if you wanted the best quality, you would get the laser disc over VHS or beta.
Because I'm just trying to get into why people buy all these different versions. I mean, I understand, because there are movies that are in VHS that are not on DVD.
Right.
I understand you want to see that movie, you buy it on VHS because that's your only opportunity to see it. I completely understand that. But and I guess I can understand a movie like Indiana Jones. You may say, hey, I want every version out there. I want one of a beta. I want one. I don't know if it was even out on beta or not, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
I want one on each type of thing. Okay, I can understand that for the collection. But I'm just trying to think of a movie that isn't highly collected. Why you would want it on beta when you can get it on DVD?
Yeah, I think in streaming nowadays, 4K and so forth, you got all that going on. But like, people just want to collect, like Star Wars. I'll collect I don't care. I'm not going to watch them, but I'm going to collect beta, VHS, Blu-ray, the trilogy, the box sets, every version, because I'm a collector of that, and I'm a sick in the head. But other than that, that's why I would do it. Well, I certainly wouldn't be watching them. I'd rather just watch them. Like now, if they're on TV, I'll watch them if I have nothing else to watch or something.
And have you come across and I'm sure there are people, but have you come across people, you deal some in that stuff. We'll take records as an example. They've done, I have no idea how many. I couldn't even venture a guess how many different pressings of Rumors they did.
Oh, God. 100? I don't even know at this point. At least dozens and dozens,
Is there anybody out there that wants to collect all the pressings? And there has to be, right?
I would think, yeah. I would think a diehard collector would, yeah. Definitely.
It would almost be like Gone with the Wind, the book, where there are, I don't know, and I'm making this up because I don't remember the exact number, but through like 1942, they had like 77 printings or something insane like that.
Right.
I'm sure there are people out there that want to collect all 77 printings.
Yeah, right.
Just because.
Sure, yeah. No,
I guess it's one of those deals that if you were to walk in on the collection and the guy goes, "Yeah, I've got all 77 printings of Gone with the Wind from 1930, whatever,
neat,
37
yeah.
to 42," he'd be like,
Right.
"Oh, that's neat."
Yeah.
I don't want to ever have to try to put that
Well,
together.
It's hard to find another person out of 6-7 billion people in the world that want to do the same thing. That's really what you have to do, unless you just break it up. And you hope there's collectors that need one
the
of each
versions,
of them
yep.
in there somehow.
Or unless you're going to donate it for a tax write-off to the Gone with the Wind Museum. I'm assuming there's one of those. You're like, "Hey, I've got a great donation for you. You've got one of every one now."
Or Goodwill.
There you go. But yeah, so there are a lot of different reasons that people buy the various different formats then.
Sure.
But a lot of times, unless they're the original, they're not available elsewhere, people aren't necessarily watching them.
Right. Well, then you got Japanese versions and imports, and just like with records, they do that with laser discs and VHS as well, and so forth. So there's, the art's different, and they got straps around them, and they're in Japanese, so they're kind of cool, so they look different. So, that's another reason collectors would buy those.
Now, if you don't mind me probing you a little, if we dig a little deeper into your collection, how much Star Wars movie, like the actual media, do you have?
Well, I gotta have a bunch of it because I've just stockpiled over the years. We had a video shop in the 70s and 80s, so I know I have first runs, and they may not be sealed, but I definitely have some sealed, probably later editions. Just like with video games and Blu-rays, I kept one of everything that I thought I had, but if I kept a couple things in the 80s and 90s, I wouldn't know now, so I'm sure I got some duplicates going on as well. Same things with records of Star Wars, all different versions of the records, and the 45s, and same thing with Batman, Spider-Man. I do the same thing with all that stuff, so I got definitely stockpiled a bunch of it.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting on there. Now, have you had anybody asking you any kind of crazy questions? Now, I know most of that stuff I think you sell on Amazon when you come across it, the records and all that stuff.
Yeah, unless it's something rare, like like a sealed one, I would probably you get more money on eBay probably for some sealed, unless you wanted to grade it. Yeah.
Have you had anybody asking you any crazy questions, wanting to know the versions and all that kind of stuff?
On Amazon they will, because they don't really differentiate in the stock photos, but on eBay they're going to see what they're getting. So more so on Amazon than on eBay.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting, just kind of trying to get into why people buy. And that's always a very, very important thing to do, is if you know the why of why your customer is buying it and why they might want to buy it, that definitely helps you in selling, because then you see the hook for it. And a long time ago, a friend of mine said that when he was out at various antique stores and the like, he would look at an item and he would say, "What's the hook? What's the reason somebody wants to buy this item?" And if he could see that, and he could see how to market it, and again, records are a perfect example on there. I mean, I'm sure the difference between a first pressing of Rumors and one you can get right now in a store, I'm sure is a crazy difference in the price.
Yeah.
But then the other side of that comes when you pick the stuff up, how deep into the weeds do you want to go?
Right.
And that is one of those instances where the true record dealer makes better money on that kind of thing, because he knows that, oh my goodness, this is the rare one where the third song is only recorded in mono, and then there was a mistake, they pulled it, they caught it, and he would know what to listen for on a given record and that kind of deal. And he makes big money off of that, because you got those other collectors that want that as well. Kind of crazy out there, all the various things people collect. Just kind of do comment down below on what you've seen out there as well, trends that you've seen. And a trend that we've seen that I really, really like.
Hitting the like button.
And we'll see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.